For my informative speech, I'm going to talk about my culture. I have a very strong influence from my grandparents on my dad's side, not as much on my mother's side. My grandparents from my dad's side were from Poland. I'm a mixed baby, right? I'm 50% Polish, and then 25% Irish, 25% German. My mom's side, my grandparents, they're all, they call them hillbillies, but they're all down from Kentucky and Tennessee and stuff like that, which has got very strong German and Irish culture. But my grandparents on my dad's side were from Poland, and they were right off the boat. So they talked Polish. They yelled at you in Polish. They would feed you a lot of Polish food. They would do, things that were revolving around the culture. For the rest of my family, you never saw that. I never saw anything German, never saw anything Irish, other than the fact that they like to drink. But for my dad's side of the family, you heard about Poland. They would speak Polish. They would talk about Warsaw, where they're from. They would talk about, my grandmother had dresses and stuff like that, different things she wore. They would, and all that kind of stuff. So it was more embedded into my life when I was a kid. The two customs, they have a bunch of customs in Polish. They have ones where they like burn a thing and throw it in the water and all that stuff. But these are the two that always you hear. I actually experienced one of them, and that was Papavini was the one that was awesome because what you do is it's a second wedding party. So you have your wedding party at night, and you basically party, drink. A lot of people drink. Get up in the morning with a hangover normally. Well, in Poland, a lot of the weddings were in farms and had tents and houses and stuff like that. So you would have to clean up the next day. So what you do is basically the next day you clean up. But while you're cleaning up, you eat all the leftover food, drink all the leftover booze, maybe make some more food. Then all of a sudden, it's another party. And it's usually all your direct family and your closest friends. May not be everybody you invited to the wedding. We did this for my brother's wedding. We did this for my wedding, and if you're not married, I would recommend looking into it if you have some Polish heritage in your family. Azapini is it's a bunch of games you play. It's kind of funny. One of the things is you cut the wife's hair. You cut her hair off and pour rice on it and do all kinds of crazy stuff. I joked about with my wife, my brother's wife, when I was the best man for the wedding. I joked about it. I had to cut her hair off because her grandmother was going to make her, and she was all freaked out about it for weeks and stuff like that. So there's a lot of other stuff you do with it, but that's the one that sticks out to me the highest. Holidays, Women's Day is very popular in Polish culture. It is March 8th every year, and what they do is they just celebrate women. They celebrate their accomplishments. They'll have like people they honor, women that do things that they honor and all that stuff. They have huge parades. I mean, if you show the picture, that's the logo for Women's Day, and you could see all the people in the crowd and all that kind of stuff. And it's a huge celebration. The other one, there's no picture, but the other one it's you hear about is called Name Day. So what they do for Name Day is the 365 days, each day has a name assigned to it. So you'll have like my name's Scott, so my birthday's February 11th. It doesn't really matter, but you have a Scott Day, and on Scott Day they throw a party for you. So everyone with the name of Scott on that day, that's Scott Day, gets presents and basically they treat it like a birthday, like it's this big party and big ordeal. Cuisine, we all love Polish food. Um, I'm a big Polish food guy, and there's about four cuisines in my opinion that really stick out when you talk about Polish food. Here's two of them. Bingus Hunter Stew looks not very good. If you ever had it before, it is very good. I used to have it a lot when I was a kid from my grandmother. And then one of my favorites, wild mushroom soup. Recommended if you ever go in a restaurant, stuff like that. It's good stuff to start off when you're eating. And the two biggies, Głąbki and pierogies. Obviously, główki, either you love it or hate it. Some people love cabbage, people hate cabbage. Brother hates cabbage, love cabbage. Um, Grew up eating it in my life. And then pierogies, we all love pierogies. They're good stuff. Traditional dress, they have a very strong European, obviously it's in Europe, but culture, German influence. Like if you went to Frankenmuth and stuff like that, you would see a lot of things that look very similar to this. I know my grandmother had a dress like the left one here. She used to show us when we were kids. It's something to do with you're engaged, you have this type of thing on, and this and that. But these are some examples. If you showed this picture to people that didn't know what they're looking at, they'd probably think it was German. So it's very similar to Germany and European culture. Grandparents' home. They're from the capital, Warsaw. I've never been there. I know there was numerous times before my grandmother passed away they would want us to come there. We never ended up going. It's something on my bucket list that I eventually want to do. Let's go visit Warsaw and see where my grandparents came from, look at their house and all that kind of stuff. Apparently they had some sort of farm, some cow farm and stuff like that. But it's the largest city in Poland. It's the capital. I've said it like 3 times, and is where my grandparents are from. And that about talks about pretty much everything from my culture. I'm hoping to pass this on to my kids like my grandparents did, and maybe teach them a thing or two about Poland. Thank you.